And go ahead, Irene.
Our mission. Helping Parents Heal is a nonprofit organization dedicated to assisting bereaved parents to become shining light parents by providing support and resources to aid in the healing process. We go a step beyond other groups by allowing the open discussion of spiritual experiences and evidence for the afterlife in a non-dogmatic way. Affiliate groups welcome everyone, regardless of religious or non-religious background, and allow for open dialogue. Attendance today at this meeting is voluntary, and we are here for the benefit of learning from and sharing with other parents whose child has passed away. It is understood that our discussions are intended to be confidential and not designed to replace traditional therapy or spiritual counseling. Helping Parents Heal offers a wide variety of speakers to allow parents to be informed about many possible ways to heal, to connect with their children, and to learn about the afterlife. The views expressed by our guests do not necessarily reflect those of Helping Parents Heal, and we ask that you take from their presentations whatever may benefit you personally. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you, Irene. And I know that Jeralyn has told me that she might have some time for answering questions at the end. So if you have any questions, make sure that you put them in the chat box, and I will try to have her answer them. Maybe if we don't get everything answered, she'll agree to come back and speak to us again, which would be wonderful. I'm going to do a very shortened version of her incredible bio that will be posted on the YouTube video. It'll be posted on Helping Parents Heal underneath the video as well, so you'll be able to see that. Jeralyn Glass is an internationally known singer, professor, meditation leader, sound healing practitioner, and crystal singing bowl master alchemist. She has a unique presence with her personal alchemy of classical music, meditation, and high vibrational sound. Jeralyn will be speaking and playing music for a full 90 minutes this evening and has created a healing sequence especially for Helping Parents Heal. The course of her life shifted dramatically 5 years ago with the passing of her only child, Dylan. Sound became the path for her own healing and inspired her active participation with the cancer support community and Maria Shriver's Women and Alzheimer's Foundation. Passionate about music and sound and tools of self-discovery and healing, Jeralyn founded Crystal Cadence, home of the Los Angeles Crystal Tones Singing Bowl Temple, where she also teaches the sacred science of sound, crystal alchemy, sound healing trainings, offers mentorships, coaching, and transformational voice. To learn more about Jeralyn, please visit her website, www.jeralynglass.com or www.crystalcadence.com, or her Instagram, which is Crystal Cadencella. So I will be putting all of these in the chat box, so you'll be able to see these. And without further ado, please join me in welcoming Jeralyn Glass.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Thank you for this invitation and for that lovely introduction. And at this moment, Jeralyn Glass is here as a parent who has lost their beloved child. And all the things that we do in the world don't matter. They do and they don't. And in this moment, it's really my great joy and my honor to be able to share this journey that none of us really expect, that none of us feel we take on. But I have come to learn that I had an agreement with my child. I had a soul contract with my boy, Dylan. And I say to him often, son, I don't remember that. I'm going to have a talk with you when we see each other again. But I have really come to understand that there is a bigger picture. Did it happen quickly? No. Was it easy? No. And all of you understand that more than any other group of people. I've come to understand truly the the principles of quantum science, and how music fits into all of that, and that we truly are made of energy. Everything is made of energy, including us. And that energy gets compressed and compressed and compressed into human form. And that energy becomes light and sound vibration. And I have seen again and again and again, through the new relationship with my son, a confirmation of that. That we are energy beings. We are made of sound, vibration, and light. It's from whence we come and whereto we shall all return. And so when the body is out of balance, when the body is not in harmony, and every organ has its tuning, every organ has its vibration, and for us, our hearts have been shattered and broken. And how do we ever find that way to repair, to heal, to become whole again in some manner, shape, or form? And I'd like to share with you, the program tonight will have 3 parts to it, and we'll be working with this technique of Zoom and the internet and sound and all that, and I hope to give you a most amazing experience tonight. So I'd like to begin a little bit with my story through slides and words, and we'll have some time for music, and then a beautiful crystal alchemy sound healing meditation, especially for our hearts, for healing, for renewal, and then if there's time, we'll have some questions and answers. So I'm going to start with the slideshow, and let's see how we do. So, the universe, the stars, our children, ourselves. Dylan was an avid photographer. He dreamed about working for National Geographic or even NASA. He loved the night sky, and he loved to photograph that. And this is one of his pictures. So let me see. This is another one of his pictures, and so many of his things became so poignant to me after his passing. I called this Weeping Tree, and it symbolizes to me the depth of the sadness that can be contained in that one tear, that one drop that becomes who we all became, that drop of pain. Weeping Tree. Sunset. He loved the nature, and this picture was taken shortly before he passed away, and to me, when I looked at it afterwards, the colors and the orbs and the mist and the single bird flying against the sky, the sense that there was a purpose, there was a soul contract, as I mentioned in the beginning, bigger than both of us, that of course neither of us remembered, at least on a very conscious level. Perhaps you have felt things like that too with your children. Oh, my slideshow. So this is my boy. So his name means born of the sea. And when I was 5 months pregnant with him, I swam with the bottlenose dolphins off the coast of Florida. And so dolphins and whales have always had a very strong connection for both of us. And we managed to swim with wild dolphins when he was 4, and again when he was 10, and this was taken in a dolphin park. And the dolphins, carry this energy of such joy. They hold together in a pod, they hold together in a family, and their element is playfulness and joy. And they teach me. This energy teaches me every day to remember that. So my boy was a big one. He was 6'3" and 230 pounds, and he was a ski racer and a football player. And in the course of Dylan's life, he had 6 concussions. And probably about a year before he passed away, he started getting very bad headaches and fell into a depression. And there's no easy way for me to say it except for that my boy had somehow had enough and chose to leave the planet. And I think those concussions had a lot to do, as he grew older, with what was happening inside and his stability. So, how the journey all began. Because he was a ski racer, we had gotten to travel the world, and he grew up in Germany. He was born in Germany. I was living and working there as an opera singer, and we had a very rich and full life. I feel extremely blessed for that. On our bucket list was Machu Picchu, and in 2013 we had gone to Nepal. One of his best friends was Nepalese, and another best friend was from India. And we had gotten to travel there and actually see Mount Everest. And so on our bucket list was Machu Picchu. And being a ski racer, he loved all the high places in the world. And so after he passed away, on the night that he passed away, that first picture that I showed you with the starry night, I walked down to the beach. I live in Southern California, and I walked down to the beach to try to find some sort of solace. And as all of you know so well in your bodies, when you get that phone call or when you find that your child has passed, it's impossible to take. It's just impossible to take in. You can't believe it's you and your life. And when I walked down to the beach that evening with a very, very dear friend who had known Dylan since he was a little boy, I looked up at the night sky and I saw this huge shooting star whoosh over the LA basin, and it seemed to begin over my parents' home and land in the mountains behind LA. And I could hear his voice, "Mom, Mom, I made it. It's like we always spoke about. I'm home. I'm home. I'm with God." And I heard this voice. The shooting star was like a big upside down smile. My friend Peter, who was with me, heard the whoosh of the star, and that was the beginning for me on that very night of understanding, beginning to know that there was a gleam of something, what I said at the beginning, that we're made of energy and we're made of sound vibration, we're made of light. And my son began to communicate with me from that night. So he was also a musician, and because sound was also very much our language, I could hear him. He talks to me as if I'm having a conversation with you, and I feel and hear the vibrations. And so I got this, "Okay, Sonny," 2 months after he passed away and was not doing well. And as I was planning his celebration, I knew that nothing obviously was ever going to be the same, and got this insight that we're going to go to Machu Picchu. So I said to him one day, "Okay," and I called him Sonny boy. "All right, we're going to go to Machu Picchu. So tell me who we're going to go with." And I opened the computer and I Googled spiritual journeys to Machu Picchu, and Dr. Sue Morter came up. I had never heard of her before. She has a wonderful TED Talk. I watched the TED Talk, And I thought, okay, but really, Dylan, and we have these conversations like, if we're going to go to Machu Picchu, let's go with a shaman, let's go with a real Quechuan, a native person. And I could hear him saying, no, Mom, we're going with Dr. Sue. She is the shaman. And so what happened on that trip was life-changing. That was the first glimpse of Machu Picchu. I apologize that my changing of pictures is very slow. I'm not sure why that's happening. So, this was my room. And I walked to my room in this little resort, this little place near Machu Picchu. And I couldn't believe when I saw that. So, quick backtrack, because Dylan was born and grew up in Europe, he grew up with a little character called Tintin. So Tintin is a little boy and he has his dog named Snowy, and it's a series of comic books, which Dylan loved comic books, and written by Harvey. And he collected every single one of Tintin's comic books. So when I stood in front of that door and saw that name Tintin, and I could hear his voice, well, Mom, you made it. Are you having fun yet? And it was mind-blowing. And you'll hear throughout the story, there's little things with Tintin along the way. And these signs, which I'm sure many of you experience, these signs are, they're gold to us, they're food to us, they're nurture us. But this changed everything. So I had given Dr. Sue, this is Dr. Sue Morter, I had given her his picture. And there's a little quote that we put on the back of it that was from his college essay about the strength of the mountains, and that the way up the mountain is also the way down the mountain. And he cherishes every moment of his life and every moment of his time on the mountain. And Dr. Sue did a ritual for him up there, and she took his picture and showed it to the mountains, and they took a video and a photograph of it. And when they came down from the top of Machu Picchu, she just said to me, you've got to see this picture. And I wanted to go, but I was just simply not strong enough. I had a breakdown of grief the night before, and I couldn't do the hike up there. And so when I saw that picture, and if you see the little orbs, so if you see the little circular orbs, again, energy, I saw for the first time really this, yes, we are made of sound vibration, we're made of light. And this picture, this whole experience in Machu Picchu with Dr. Sue began to change everything. Again, as you all so well know, it's a slow process. And no one can tell you, how to grieve and how long it will take. And one of our family friends started the Compassionate Friends chapter in our local area. And he said, when you lose a parent, you lose your past. And when you lose your partner, you lose your present. But when you lose your child, you lose your future. And Dylan began to teach me, Mom, you haven't lost your future. I'm right here with you. I'm just in another form. And this whole idea of a future with my child and spirit it's changed everything. So we have a large family. There's 25 people in the family, and one of my nieces was pregnant and was having trouble with the baby. And I went to visit her in the hospital, and as I was driving home from UCLA, I don't know why this isn't changing. I apologize. I don't know. Okay. I started yelling at him, Sonny, why can't you be with us? Everybody loves you. Everybody loves you, and everybody wants you to be with us. Why can't you be with us? This popped on my screen in my car, and it started playing What a Wonderful World. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Back home, favorite, source. 6 and 3 equals 9, a sacred number. 77, a sacred number. And I stopped. I just stopped. and took this photo because, again, sound vibration, communication. And I just said to him, son, you're talking to me. If you could speak to me, you're talking to me. This was also just such a moving experience. So all these things began to add up and began to help with the healing. When he was a little boy, we traveled to the Galapagos, and this is taken there in the boat in the Galapagos. He loved animals. He loved these little creatures. And so I got this inspiration to travel to Komodo National Park, of all places, on the other end of the world. And I had started to work in Thailand as a sound healing practitioner. This was happening and building as all this was unfolding. And so I combined that with going to Komodo National Park. And it seemed like a very strange thing, but some miracles happened there. So I began to listen deeply inside and to follow what I heard, to follow what I felt was the communication from my son. So I always laugh when I say I graduated to the big dragons. So I was like, Dylan, are you kidding me? You're going to bring me all the way to the other end of the earth and put me in front of these big dragons? And he's like, Mom, you got to learn to be unafraid, to just let the fear go. And you know, I did. And so I also, many of you might know Flat Stanley from one of the children in our family. We had done a project with him when Dylan was young to sending pictures from Germany with Flat Stanley. So I would take his picture with me on my travels. And somehow this brought me so much joy to feel like I was together with him in these places that had then sacred memories and occurrences happen that felt very, very healing to me. And because I had been an opera singer for so many years, I had collected so many miles, and I was able to use my miles to travel. And the traveling was really my way of healing. So this was mind-blowing for me. So I got off the boat at the big Komodo Island, and I bent down on the pier. I saw something on the pier, and I bent down and I picked up that big seahorse that's on the left. The little seahorse Dylan had found for me when I was singing in Marseille. He found that for me when he was 2.5. And he brought it home and he goes, Mom, look what I found for you. And so once again, to be on the other ends of the earth and to bend down and pick that mommy seahorse up and put it together when I got home with his baby seahorse was also just a confirmation, like, Mom, it's eternal. Love is eternal. Love knows no time and no space. So I went on another healing journey the following year with a dear friend who helped me to really open my heart and allow healing sounds and mantra to enter in my heart and begin to really work with those deep, deep energies of grief. And I arrived so some miraculous things happened on this trip. It was called Heart Songs in the Himalayas. And again, that was another dream of Dylan and myself to travel to the Himalayas. And we had gotten to see Mount Everest before he passed away. And so this was also like, okay, here we go. And he'd always guide me, Mom, we're going to go here. We're going to do this. And I began to listen intently and not censor the things that I heard. So I get off in this little town. And I'll explain to you what happened in the plane, but I get into this little village of Leh in northern India in the Himalayas, And there I see Tintin, and that's him. That's the comic figure if you didn't know him. Tintin and his little dog Snowy. And there he was, hanging on in a store in this little town. So a couple of other things happened on that trip that were truly mind-blowing for me and really brought me a good deal forward in my healing journey. We were staying outside of Leh, and we were told that there would be a day where the Dalai Lama would be giving his darshan, he would be speaking. And so there were 2 days that we could choose, a Thursday and a Friday. And I chose Thursday. And then some hours later, I could hear Dylan saying, "Mom, please change it, let's go Friday." And I was like, okay, once again, I learned not to question those things. So the group that went on Thursday did not see nor hear the Dalai Lama. And the group on Friday, there he was, and I could have sworn that he was waving right to Dylan and me, right in front of our faces. So flying from Delhi to Leh in this little plane, I'm sitting at the window and I'm looking out and I see this form that begins to look like a rounded rainbow with the shadow of the plane in it. And there happens to be quite a lot of photographers that are going to the Himalayas to do a photography safari, watching and taking pictures. So I also begin to take pictures. So it begins on the upper right as this rounded rainbow. And if you see the picture of him in his sunglasses and see the bottom picture, and so I didn't see it obviously at first, and when I got off the plane and looked at that picture and saw his face in the middle of that rounded rainbow, again my mind was blown. And stepping back 2 weeks before the healing journey to Heart Songs in the Himalayas, I was taking a sound healing workshop with one of our pioneers of sound healing, Jonathan Goldman. And I did a sound healing with one of his teachers. And I said to her, I really don't want to go to India. There's just, I'm dealing with so much of the grief and there's still so much sadness, and I don't want to go. But I had already bought my ticket. I knew I was going. And she said, "Jeralyn, don't worry. You'll understand why you had to go." And I sent her these pictures and what happened. And she said to me that Dylan was present in the room during the sound healing, and that he said to her, "I'm going to give my mom an unmistakable sign." And so when she told me that, and I put that together, this rainbow, and I asked in Ladakh, what is that? Has anyone seen that before? And they said that in Buddhist culture, that when someone passes away, they are sealed in a tent in one of the traditions, and they know that the person has ascended when they see a rainbow in the sky. So that was so touching to me. So here's in Thailand, and I began to understand that if I could move beyond my own grief, if I could become the bigger one that could have this bird's eye view, that could have this perspective that this didn't happen to me. Dylan wasn't taken from me. It wasn't the concussions. It wasn't blah, blah. But that this truly was a soul contract, and it truly was something that we both knew. And that his passing, and he said it was said to me by a couple of different psychics, was that he couldn't fulfill what his mission was here on earth, and that we were going to create a bridge of heaven earth, and to help people to understand what that profound connection is that we all have, that is part of the human life, and that sound vibration and light are so much intertwined with all of that. And so as I began to share the sound more and more, I was healing. I volunteered to work with cancer patients, and that turned into something beyond what I ever could have imagined. although many of them hadn't lost children to cancer, but they knew what it was like to be grieving. And I felt so at home in that circle and so able to really give from the music and the sound. So again, I'm not sure why the computer sticks. Joy. How do we ever find joy? And for me, as I began to play these crystal bowls, which I can't wait for you to really experience, I began what I understood later to be my real sound healing journey process. So I would sit and play bowls. I had already a set of 7 bowls, and we had gotten those bowls when Dylan was 8. So he knew the bowls really, really well. And he loved them. He'd always say, "Mommy, Mommy, bring me to bed with my sound blanket." And he had one particular bowl that he really liked, which was a little citrine. And when he was 12, he entered a vocal contest in Germany. And he made it to the semifinals. And a week before the semifinals, he walks into the room and he goes, "Mom, Mom, Mom, my voice is changing." And at that point in time, being a professor of singing, I had never accompanied a young man through their voice change. And so I spoke with colleagues and I asked, is there particular things that I need to do with him? And I did those things and we worked with the bowls. So he chose that little citrine bowl, which is the note of the throat. It's the G. And we played that every day and he was able to do his performance beautifully. And he stood up and he said, "Hello, my name is Dylan. And since 1 week, I am no longer a soprano." And everybody howled. And I watched my boy at such a vulnerable time in his life sing a 15-minute program with absolute confidence and radiance. And so when he said to me, "Mom, call the bowl dudes," and it became louder and louder and louder, and it was about 5 months in after he had passed. "Call the bowl dudes." And, you know, as you saw, he was a big young man and he had a very loud voice and it didn't stop. And I wasn't sure at the beginning what he was talking about, but it was insistent. And so I did. I finally got on the phone and I called Crystal Tones and I told them, you know, my boy has passed away and he's telling me to call you. And that really was the beginning of this journey. And so I ordered at first 11 more bowls. And I bought bowls that I thought were going to help me connect with him. So I bought a celestite, I bought a selenite. So selenite is grounded white light, celestite is connection to the heavens, of course a rose quartz to connect hearts. And I began to play those bowls. And I would weep and scream and grieve and keen and make sounds that I was able to make in any sort of grief therapy. And I began to understand, oh my goodness, you are doing sound healing on yourself. And I could feel when I played the first selenite bowl, which once again is grounded white light, I felt Dylan's presence in the room. There was a misty white substance in the room which I saw with my own eyes. And I could feel him guiding the healing. And I'll never forget that moment after the first time with that selenite bowl that I got up to wash my face. I looked at my face in the mirror in the bathroom and I saw there was light and joy in my eyes. And so when I share with you, you know, this joy of taking his picture of playing Flat Stanley, of the travels that really helped to ease the grief, and of the service, of the desire to give of my music, but in a way that would not be on the Broadway stage or not be on the opera stage, but a way to give music to people that could make a container, a safe container for your hearts to be held, just as my heart was held. And that we had the chance to breathe and feel what we deem to be unfeelable. It's too much. It's too much for anybody. And yet that sound held me so that I could feel that. And I'll never forget one time I stood near his room and I started simply pounding my chest and just beating my chest. If I could only make that pain go away. And I came to my senses. I called my mom and I said, Mom, I'm in it. I don't know what to do. And she said to me, if you take your life, I'll kill you first. It was like, oh my God, my mild mom was telling me, Jeralyn, wake up. You've got to be able to feel it, because if you can feel it, you can heal it. Further on this energy healing journey was a trip to Egypt with Dr. Sue. Dylan loved that. And in this picture, following, I'm not sure why it sometimes goes and sometimes doesn't. I'm standing in my hotel room with his picture in my breast pocket, and I'm taking pictures, and I actually, for the first time in my life, can see the orbs with my naked eye. And it's mind-blowing. It's just the feeling that there's energy, that there's his spirit, that there's something so beyond our physical body, which just helps. It helped me, and I hope that it can help to give us the bigger perspective, somehow the bigger perspective. So one evening, I was laying in the bed and suddenly awakened, stark awake, wide awake in the middle of the night. And I didn't know what to name it, but now I know it was a visitation. He was in the room with me. I could feel him. I could smell him. It was warm. I could hear him as if he was talking to me. We had an exchange, and then I fell back to sleep. And the next morning, I ran down the stairs to his bedroom, and it was like, he's here. The whole thing was a nightmare. The whole thing, he didn't pass away. He's here. And then I sat down on my chair and I just said, Jeralyn, how ludicrous is that? And I looked down at my nightgown, and this white feather is embedded in the string of my nightgown. I do not have down anything because I'm allergic. And I just looked down and I said, thank you, son. I mean, thank you, son. And, you know, to be able to find this sense of relationship and this sense of purpose and this sense of joy that, once again, that the love is so beyond this human realm. He shows me this regularly. This is a picture that Dill took when he was maybe 13. And after he passed away, I found this. So once again, he loved the comic strips. So when I traveled a lot as an opera singer, we would write postcards and we would communicate regularly. We'd try to get postcards to each other almost every day. And when I came home from one trip, this postcard was waiting for me. Hi, Mom, from the clouds. Dear Mom, I love you and I'm so glad to see you again. I've missed you so very much. Just remember, always let God's light shine on you and you'll see me. Much love from your son, Dylan. Did he know? Did he know? Do our souls have that dim memory of what our life purpose is, what our soul purpose is? Reading this and finding this was also for me just wow. Just wow, son. We gave a little ceremony for him at Walden Park. He had been going to school at Phillips Academy in Andover, and many of his friends wanted to have a celebration, and one of his friends took this picture. And I'll come back to it again and again and again. We are made of energy, sound, vibration, and light. So I'm going to see if I can transition to some music for you.
Jeralyn, as you're transitioning, that was absolutely beautiful. I know that all of our parents just loved it. We have so many people writing in the chat box. I just want to read a few of them. So beautiful and amazing. Wow, so beautiful. This is amazing and powerful. Love it. This is so uplifting. Thank you. So emotional. What a gorgeous picture. Goosebumps. Oh, wow. Amazing, amazing, amazing. This is so amazing. That's incredible. So awesome. Amazing. Candy's saying that her dog Pippa is the same dog as Ten. I call him Milou because we have every single book in the series of Hergé. And my kids grew up with him. So we named one of our puppies Ten. And he is the only puppy in the litter that I gave away to a very close friend after her son passed. That's fabulous. He's here with me. Let's see. He's here with you. I'm sorry. Yes, he knew. Our kids all know, and we do as well. Yes, I think some do know. Oh, wow, he knew. Just beautiful. And so inspiring, an amazing, beautiful story. I love the story of your journey. Made me really emotional, as lots of parallels with many of my son, and my journeys. Just beautiful. So everyone is appreciating it so much, and it's hard when it's on a slideshow to be able for you to see that. But thank you for that, and we can't wait to hear your crystal bowls. So this will be a real treat.
Thank you. So I'm going to start, being a singer, I went on these journeys. I had to do something. I left my job at the university and knew that I had to find a different path, that life would never be the same. And so I shut my mouth. I had eight gigs, eight performances. And one of them, the week after Dylan had died, he was supposed to be coming down. I was to sing for Kobe Bryant and his wife. And I did all those gigs, and then I shut my mouth. And this song that I'm going to sing for you first, so I made an album called For Always, and you can listen to it, and all the songs are infused with Crystal Alchemy singing bowls. So I'd like to start with one, and I'm gonna play. I'm gonna be my own sound engineer, so bear with me here. I'm gonna play a big F bowl. An F is the note of the heart. This is called No One Is Alone. leave you halfway through the wood. Do not let it grieve you. No one leaves for good. You decide alone. But no one is alone. People make mistakes. Fathers, mothers, people make mistakes, holding to their own, thinking they're alone. On earth their mistakes everybody makes, one another's terrible mistakes. Witches can be right, giants can be good. You decide what's right, you decide what's good. Just remember, someone is on your side, someone else is not. While you're seeing your side, maybe you forgot they are not alone. No one is alone. Look to find the light now, and just don't let it go. Things will come out right now. We can make it so. Someone is on your side. No one is alone. Someone is on your side. No one is So this is actually a singing bowl that was made with Dylan's image on it. And I had given Crystal Tones, one of the owners, I had given them his picture, the little picture that Dr. Sue had. And he asked me, can I keep it in my office near my desk? He said, I feel like Dylan wants to be with me every day in the Crystal Tones studio. And so I said, of course. And he called me one day, maybe a year later, and he said to me, Dylan is asking if he could be on a bowl. He goes, are you okay with that? I was like, I guess so. That boy has his own way, so I guess so. And I forgot about it, and some months after that, they sent me this bowl. And it's an alchemy, what we call Saint Germain sky. So Saint Germain is a combination of platinum, and the platinum and these alchemy bowls, these gemstones or minerals or earth substances are infused at 4,000 degrees into these, pure quartz crystal bowls. And so Dylan's bowl is made of platinum, which is the great balancer of the emotional body. It has to do with the divine feminine. with unconditional love. And Saint Germain is also made of pink aura gold, which has to do with devotion and just very much tenderness and love of the heart. So, and that particular note is the F. So this big note is Lemurian seed crystal, is a big F, placed together with Dylan's F. So you're gonna hear in the sound bath, I wish I could see and hug all of you. You're gonna hear all kinds of different sounds. So I don't know if there are people that haven't heard a Crystal Alchemy sound bath before. I'll just give you a short. This is you'll hear. So it's based on a regular, just a C major scale. This is a low C, this is a low G, this is a low F, and then all the notes of Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. And what I love to teach and what I've learned from all of this is that we need this combination of grounding, centering, and accelerating. So in order for me to heal, and I understood that I needed to ground, and of course that's the last thing you want to do. You don't want to get in your body because you can't bear the pain of it. And yet once I could ground in the safety, in the structure of these crystal bowls, I could feel it was safe, I could release, and I could find this point of ascension. So when we're working with these notes, these are the notes that we call the higher chakras, meaning chakra 8, chakra 9, and above. So this is what I will work with today for a special meditation for our group, is how do we connect the energies heaven earth? How does sound help us to ground and embody the things that we may feel are just unbearable, but we can feel and embody then a new kind of strength. We raise our vibrational frequency through this crystalline sound, which enables grief to release. And for example, this bowl it's a beautiful bowl made of charcoal, and the charcoal is mixed with aqua aura gold. So the charcoal is incredibly cleansing, clearing, detoxifying, and the aqua aura gold, also gold. So there's a lot of gold in this set, and gold has to do with illuminated brain. So once again, this whole idea that there is a bigger picture. There is a bigger picture to everything. And there is a strong purpose that each of us have. And Dr. Sue would say to me, you know, when you have an occurrence in your life like losing your child, she would say to me, only a really big being would take that on. And she'd say, big beings have big purpose. And I say that to all of you, that there's something so much bigger that we are to do in transforming that grief so that we are able to walk embodied in love. And I remember a point in time where the sound helped me to really hold me stable, and the sound helped me to recognize that Dylan and the feeling of the energy of my child, and especially as a mom when you've born your child too, you know, that energy that connects you soul to soul, body to body forever, that he became a part of me. There became a point in time where I felt he was integrated and a part of me. And it was hard to differentiate sometimes what's his energy, what's his silliness, what's all his playfulness and fun, and what's me anymore. And to begin to really feel like we are really one. Sound vibration is from whence we come and whereto we return. And this connection, heaven, earth, is what I'd like to invite you to experience with me. So I hope that you can be comfortable. If you feel like laying down, if you're seated, please get really comfortable, and I'll invite you to close your eyes, and we'll do a beautiful sound bath. So taking some long, deep cleansing breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And I invite you to make a gentle sigh. So allow your own sound to be active, your own personal vibration. Allow the cares of the day, if anything has arisen during this time together, just allow it to sigh out. Give it a voice. Allow your breath to be deep, deep in your belly. And as we begin to slow down our breath, we also begin to slow down our thinking mind. And as we slow down our breath, allow yourself to drop into your belly. Feel yourself land more and more in your body. And I invite you to imagine a grounding cord 2 inches below your navel and 2 inches into your body. A golden anchoring cord that you allow to drop down to the earth below, so that you feel anchored, you feel stable, you feel connected, and you are free to travel anywhere you need to go today during the sound meditation, with the safety of knowing that at any time you can return through that grounding cord. Long, deep cleansing breaths, if you can, in through your nose and out through your mouth. I hereby set a sacred space may only those beings of the highest light and love be present with us. I call on the wisdom of the ascended masters and the angels, our guides, our children, Spirit, to be with us now through sacred sound, to teach us and inspire us to raise our vibrational frequency. For it is in the raising of our vibrational frequency that we also raise our consciousness. And from this place of higher consciousness, there we are given the tools to truly heal. Long, deep cleansing breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth, deep in your belly. Allowing the sounds to begin to be infused at the very cellular level. May your heart remain open. May you awaken to the true nature of your soulful self. May you be a beacon of light to all who cross your path. breath circulate in your hips, in your pelvis floor. Just imagine that your breath is moving like liquid light, liquid sound. And I invite you to give the muscles of the pelvis floor just a gentle squeeze. As if you hold back going to the bathroom. Just a gentle squeeze of the muscles. Mula bandha or root lock. Imagining your breath traveling up through your lower abdomen, imagining a central channel up your navel, your belly, the center of your chest, your throat, your third eye, the place between your brows, crown of your head, and imagine the breath 2 feet above your head. Imagine a golden ball of white light. And 4 feet above your head, 2 feet above that. As we create this sense of a central channel running from 2 feet below your feet, up your legs, rooting in your pelvis, an energy center, up through the soles, all the way out through the crown. Feeling that energy center 2 feet above your head, 4 feet above your head. Liquid light. You can imagine a white light ball, a golden ball above your head. And feel the movement of sound traveling up and down this central channel. Perhaps it's easy if you imagine an elevator shaft, whatever works for you. Or simply a column. And imagining the sound and your breath moving up and down as we create a coherence, a balance, a harmony at the very cellular level. Gently squeezing the muscles of the pelvis floor, anchoring. Feeling the energy move up your lower abdomen, your belly, your heart area, your throat. And as you come to your brows, I invite you to gently allow your eyes to roll upwards. Do you feel that slight bit of tension as the eyes are rolled upwards? And see if you can send your breath right into that little place of tension. The place of our third eye, the pineal gland, has light receptors, but no windows. It's your place of vision, your place of inner light. Feeling that slight bit of tension behind your eyes as the light becomes brighter inside. And gently allowing the eyes to roll back to a comfortable position. Feeling this connection, heaven, earth, feeling your energies ascend this sensation of liquid sound, liquid light. We become liquid lighted love in human form. Feeling your breath low and deep, as if it ignites from 2 feet below your feet. Your breath travels easily and effortlessly up your body and out your crown, imagining that you breathe in the light from 4 feet above your crown, breathing that light, that liquid light, down into every cell. Liquid lighted love. And I invite you for a moment to bring your attention to your heart. Feeling the power and the presence of your heart. What does it feel like in your body when you are loving and being loved? What does the sensation of love feel like in your body? Feel the vibrations of tenderness, warmth, caring, and intimacy. Love, pure and innocent. Generous and kind. Compassionate. And see if you can connect your heart down to that area 2 feet below your feet. Grounding. Stabilizing. Breathing the breath of liquid light from below your feet up to your heart. A connection, a steadfastness, a rooting. Feel that energy of loving presence. Stabilizing. Inspired. Joyful. Joyful. When we find that vibrational frequency of joy, inspiration and healing happen as a byproduct. The vibrational frequency of love embodied. Receiving that. Love is the universal solvent. When I am in grief, I find love. It anchors me. It shifts everything. We are made of sound, vibration, and light. Liquid light. Liquid lighted love in human form. Let there be peace. Peace. Breathing long, deep breaths of peace in the body and peace of mind. Finding the vibrational frequency of gratitude. A grateful heart brings healing. Count your blessings. Count your blessings. This beautiful group, hearts that hold one another together, friendships and comfort, the beauty of nature, the starry night, the sunrise, the wind in your hair, on your cheeks, your health, a strong mind, a strong body, grace, and love. Love that is eternal. Love that goes beyond all time and all space. And the blessings of our children, our angels, always with us. If you're worried and you can't sleep, please count your blessings. Don't count sheep, and you'll fall asleep. I promise, with your blessings in your heart. Please don't worry about a thing. Count your blessings. Feel your angels, your sweet angels. Count your blessings. In gratitude, count your blessings. Embodying so much light and so much love, strength, grounded, peace. Count your blessings.
Jeralyn, can I just tell you that we have so many beautiful things that people are writing about this. That was amazing. Everyone's saying thank you so much. Awesome healing sounds. Randy's saying absolutely beautiful. Mary's saying this is so enchanting. First time I really felt connected to my children and it was effortless. Thank you, thank you. Claudia is saying what an outstanding performance. Yes, love knows no time and space. Thank you so much. Candy's saying what an incredible gift. Thank you, Jeralyn. You are a blessing. Tina's saying that was absolutely magnificent. Thank you so much. Susan is saying, thank you, Jeralyn, for sending us the sounds of heaven. Joan is saying, oh my, how incredible. Heidi's saying, thank you so much. Annalie is saying, thank you so much. It was phenomenal. Roseanne is saying, I have no words. Maria is saying, thank you, with many hearts. Iris is saying, thank you, Jeralyn. You are truly an earth angel. Lisa's saying, beautiful. Susan's saying, such a blessing to hear this. Thank you. Suzanne is saying, thank you so much. Truly beautiful. Cindy's saying, thank you. That was so soothing. And Nancy is saying, a beautiful journey. Thank you for your gifts to us. Paula is saying, thank you, Jeralyn. So amazing. So I just want to thank you personally. That was amazing. And I'm going to have to talk to you sometime about the parallels that exist between your stories and mine. It's kind of amazing. But hopefully we'll be able to have you back someday soon. And I truly appreciate you doing this for us and for creating that sound healing just for us. I must say, I tuned out for probably 10 minutes. It was beautiful and I was just so caught up in the sound. But I came back and I know that I was with the kids. I know that they're all here this evening, and especially Dylan. And I want to thank you personally, but I also want to be able to let everyone on here thank you as well. So Irene, have you unmuted everyone so that they're able to do that?
Yes, it's all set.
Thank you.
So if you'd like to say thank you and good night to Jeralyn, that would be wonderful.
Thank you, Jeralyn.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
amazing.
you.
Much.
Jeralyn, you're
so much.
beautiful.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing
It
your
was
gift.
one
Thank you, Jeralyn.
wonderful. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Amazing.